Good evening, everyone. I'm going to have a conversation today based around being true to who you are. How many people listening to this video can say that they are true to who they really are inside their soul? Trying to be, because it's difficult in this day and age to be exactly what you're meant to be, to follow your dreams, follow your goals, follow the things that you're meant to do. Follow the things that you're truly meant to be when you come here. And every one of us have a different role. Are we being true to who we are? Social media is everywhere. Is that being true to who you are? I see so many people that are being something they're not. And it's okay to be funny, it's okay to make people laugh, to dream, to fantasize. But when is it being taken too far? If you look at women and men, how they're portraying themselves. Women have an outlet now that more so than they ever had before. They can flaunt their bodies in ways that 50, 60 years ago, would have mortified people. But is that okay? You have women and men that seek attention. But what type of attention are they getting? If you have a woman, it doesn't mean she has to be beautiful. She can be not so beautiful. She can be really overweight. She can be absolutely stunning, and anywhere in between. It doesn't seem to really matter that much. But when you flaunt yourself in a negative way, degrade yourself, in some ways making a fool out of yourself, when is it being taken too far? What is it that you're seeking? What type of attention? You will get attention. But what type of attention? I'm just going to give one example, and it's only an example, because I know there's many different types of people out there. But there's many, many beautiful women on the internet right now. And Instagram, Facebook, it goes on and on and on. We know there's so many new ones out there and all the time. And there's so much going on right now in the world. When you flaunt yourself, your body, you're going to get massive attention. But we forget that attention also connects to our souls. So what type of attention are you really getting? You're getting a negative attention. And sometimes you can say, oh, well, it's a positive attention, but it really isn't. It's not a balanced attention. So a lot of times you'll get all these people that are saying these things, and you know what? You might feel great about yourself, and that is completely up to you. But what is it doing to your soul? What is it doing to you? What is it doing to the human race? And you could say the same thing about guys. There's so many people out there that are doing things that are attracting an unbalanced energy to themselves. And that creates an imbalance in the world. So this is just a conversation, because I really want people to really, really think about being true to yourself. And what happens when you're not? Because you're hurting yourself more than anything. And people would say, well, I'm not hurting anyone. Well, in a way, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, you are. Because the people that you're attracting to yourself are affecting you. If you think that you have 5 million followers and all they care about is seeing the next picture of yourself, what are they actually thinking about? Is it balanced? So all that energy is being put towards you. You remember, thought creates reality. And I look back in the 50s and people that want to be different would, you could say that, well, if you wore a bikini back in the 50s, it was a huge deal. Especially if it was a little bit showing. That's all you would have to do. And that would be a huge deal. Now, what are people doing to get attention? They're taking it to extreme measures. So you have people that are missing something within their souls and are seeking something from other people. And they will do whatever they can to achieve that, to fill that gap within their heart, within their own soul. But that gap now is being more extreme every single day, every single year that goes by. It's becoming more and more extreme. So that energy becomes more and more at a balance. I like to see it like at one time where bikini, that was like absolutely extreme. Now you got people that will get plastic surgery and make their bodies all distorted and messed up to absolute absurd sizes. Absurd sizes. It could be your lips, it could be your boobs, it could be your butt, many different things. And it's being pushed mostly by guys in the world when it comes to women. Us guys have just as much to blame as the women do for doing it to themselves. Because if guys didn't care and actually loved women for just being themselves, to see the beauty within the person that you're in, the body that you're born in, then this wouldn't become so at a balance, wouldn't become so absurd. So it's not women, it's because we're so connected that it starts to create an imbalanced society. And my balance is different than yours. My beliefs are different than yours. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how energy works. That when you're seeking something and you do extreme things to get that attention, what is it that you're really getting? And when you do that, it creates an imbalance in yourself as well as other people. But then what happens when that tension starts to wind down? So now you got to do something more extreme. And you could look at a situation where you have a woman that starts to increase her size of her lips. And she gets attention for it. So she increases the size more and more and more. And then that energy starts to get twisted because now some people are looking at that individual and saying, wow, that's really weird. Because now they're absurd size, they're just ridiculous. But that individual doesn't see it that way. Because something inside their self is seeking more and more attention. So the lips get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the people that she attracts shift into weirder and weirder people, weirder energies. And the more negativity and more laughter now starts coming towards that individual. So that individual starts to break even more and crave that energy. So when you crave the energy, it started off as kind of like an innocent infatuation to a twisted, messed up, demonic energy. That's what happens to it. And now that individual is thriving that attention, seeking that energy. And that creates a more and more imbalance within themselves, and they think that they're absolutely beautiful. They have the right to believe that. And maybe they are. But why is it that they feel they have to distort their bodies in such extreme ways? And the more extreme you are, the more twisted the energy becomes within yourself and the energy coming at you, which then you start to crave that energy more and more and more. It's like starting smoking marijuana and then going into something like cocaine, and then you go into crack, then you go into much, much, much worse drugs. And then you find yourself sticking needles in every part of your body that you can do it. And you realize that what was the point of all that? Some people have managed to break free of that and become very, very strong advocates to help other people. But it's the things that you crave, the energy is the same. You start off something relatively minor, and the more you crave something more extreme, the energy shifts and it becomes demonic. And it creates a massive imbalance within yourself. So you crave more and more and more darker things. But this is what's happening to our society. It is wanting more and more and more extreme things because people aren't satisfied with who they are. So they're looking for extreme things to change. But instead, they should be looking into the mirror and say, you know what? I'm beautiful just the way I am. My lips are beautiful. My body's beautiful. My hair is beautiful. My eyes are beautiful. My stomach, my legs, my feet. Everything about yourself is beautiful. And then you start to accept yourself. You feel happier inside. You feel lighter. And then you look at other people and you stop judging them severely. You start judging people less. Because the more you love yourself and accept yourself, which is a part of love, you're starting to understand what love is. There's nothing wrong with people that are different. But when you twist your original version, you're not accepting yourself for who you truly are. And there is always some form of change within yourself. You could cut your hair, you can dye it, put makeup on, dress nice, dress not nice. It doesn't matter, because my definition of nice is different than the next person's. But when you distort your body in such extreme ways, that's when it gets demonic. That's when you attract really bad energies to yourself, which then affects the whole world. And social media is creating that imbalance in the world. You really need to pay attention to where you're focusing your energy on. You need to really truly look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm beautiful just the way I am. You can choose to be whatever you want. You can choose to do whatever you want with your body. But if you feel like you have to twist your body in extreme ways or in even minor ways, you might want to ask yourself why. Am I doing this for my boyfriend? Am I doing this for my girlfriend? Am I doing this for my father, my mother? Why am I doing this? If you don't say, I'm doing it for myself, you might want to rethink it. And if you say you're doing it for yourself, why are you doing it for yourself? Is it to fill a void, a sadness within your own heart? a hatred for your own body. Think about that. Because you were born in a specific way. You were born to be exactly who you are. And that body, that mind, that soul is here for a purpose. And you just don't come here once. You come here many times. Millions of times, thousands of times. It doesn't really matter. If you're not rich, so you're not rich. Doesn't mean you can't become rich. Maybe you chose not to be. Maybe that was part of your lessons, to see what it is like to be poor. So that individual isn't any less than yourself. You could be filthy rich, and a person could be very poor. But the poor person can be a lot more bright, a lot more respected than a rich person is. Because money has nothing to do with it. It is your soul. It is what you do that makes you beautiful. It's how you act and what you think of yourself that makes you beautiful. And every woman and every man, teenager, child that is watching this video needs to love themselves, needs to stop trying to be something they're not. To dream. To dream is to make beautiful realities come to life. If we didn't dream, the world would never be able to grow. If we didn't love ourselves, we wouldn't have made it this far. So stop trying to please other people and start pleasing and loving yourself. And some people might laugh at that. I realized it was already too late when I said it. But that's okay as well. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. If you wish to do a journey with me, you can go to my website at amonrastawakening.com or visit my Northern Light pages at Joseph Bradley Auroras and hiddenaurora spirits.com. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.